The suspect in the abduction of 6-year-old Malaysian Albertine Leo Gia Hui has been rearrested after police discovered various sex toys and child pornographic material at his residence in Johor. An earlier remand order on the suspect for the investigation under Section 365 of the Penal Code for kidnapping, among other charges, expired on Sunday. Johor Police Chief M. Kumar stated that the investigation is now being conducted under Section 10 of the Sexual Offences Against Children Act 2017 for possessing child sexual abuse material and Section 292 of the Penal Code for possessing obscene material. Section 10 of the Sexual Offences Against Children Act 2017 imposes a penalty of up to 5 years in prison, a fine of up to 10,000 ringgit, or both. Section 292 of the Penal Code imposes a penalty of up to 3 years in prison, a fine, or both. He emphasized the importance of the community staying informed about current crime trends and educating their children about the dangers, particularly those associated with social media. Albertine was rescued on 23 July from a budget hotel in Batang Kali, Selangor, after going missing on 20 July, 375 kilometers from where she was last seen. She was found alone with a 31-year-old man in a hotel room.
In Malaysia, the increase in abduction cases has raised serious concerns about public safety, particularly as modern technology and social dynamics evolve. Incidents of kidnapping and abductions are especially worrying, impacting not only the direct victims, but also instilling fear within communities and families. This issue has led to heated discussion about the causes behind these abductions, which can be linked to a variety of factors, including socio-economics, psychological and emotional issues, and religion and cultural motives. Such cases often peak during certain periods, underscoring the need for effective prevention and response measures. To address the problem, the Malaysian government and law enforcement agencies must have a thorough understanding of the underlying causes driving these incidents. Strategies aimed at combating abductions should include enhanced surveillance, stricter enforcement of protective laws, and public awareness campaigns about personal safety and vigilance. In particular, collaboration between government agencies, law enforcement, and community organizations is crucial in creating a proactive approach to reducing abduction risk. Although the government has introduced various policies and protective measures, a key question remains: is there sufficient dedication to tackling the rise in abduction cases effectively? Addressing this complex issue requires not only robust, long-term policies but also an adaptive, community-centered approach that prioritizes the safety and well-being of every Malaysian. Kuala Lumpur. There are a total of 710 reported cases of children under 18 who went missing between January to November this year. Bukit Aman Sexual, Women and Child Investigation Division D11 Principal Assistant Director, Assistant Commissioner Siti Kamsiah Hassan said of the number, 634 of them have been found, which was 89.3%. She said 76 children were still missing. Based on the analysis and study of the cases from the statistic, police found that the disappearance of the children was caused by 6 categories. Firstly, running away from home category. The main factor children and teenagers were reported to have done so was because they wanted to be free from their family or guardians. Running away from home is the most common cause of disappearance, accounting for 82.26% of all cases, she told Sina Today. Commenting further, Kamsia said apart from the desire to find freedom, the cause that contributed to them running away from home was disharmony in the family. She added that the act of running away from home was to follow a friend or lover, misunderstanding with family members, looking for a job at a young age, lack of family attention, and lack of interest in studying.
In addition, she said that the disappearance of children due to accidents was as much as 0.83%. This, she said, involved natural disasters such as landslides, drowning in the river, loss of forests, or eaten by crocodiles. She explained that the disappearance category accounted for 2.16% of the total number of cases. For the category of being victims of crime, Siti Kamsia said that the number recorded was around 0.04%. She said children involved in this category were victims of revenge and anger of irresponsible individuals against their children's parents. She said in the category involving kidnapping, the children were kidnapped were to believed to have been abused or killed by the suspect. She said it was crucial to take cases where children were victims of crimes seriously, adding to the police always prioritize and pay close attention to these situations. She mentioned 1.39% of minors were taken away by their guardians. When a mother, father, or guardian runs away, it usually arises from a disagreement about taking care of the child. It also involves the right to claim custody of a child where one of the parties is suspected of taking the child away and running, she said, adding the matter involved legal and illegal guardians. She said there were 4.15% of the cases of missing children which cause was unknown. As an example of a case in Sarawak, a mother woke up to find that her 6-year-old son was missing. The mother suspected that her son had fallen in the river because the residence was a house on the water. There is no evidence of invasion and no ransom demands made by any party. In fact, there are no eyewitnesses who can confirm the incident, she said.
Kidnapping of a Chinese national's 7-year-old son in Johor Bahru last week. The Chinese national, who has a permanent resident status in Singapore, was seriously injured while rescuing his son from a group of men who had sped off with him in a car at about 4:30 p.m. on December 12th. Johor Bahru Selatan District Police Chief ACP Raub Selamat said police arrested the main suspect, who is the business partner of the boy's father, the same day. He added that 41-year-old man planned the kidnapping with 3 accomplices for a 300,000 ransom, but no ransom was paid. Raoub said the main suspect, who is a car mechanic, was charged with kidnapping under Section 363 of the Penal Code at the Magistrates Court in Johor Bahru on Tuesday. He added that police are on the hunt for 3 local men in their 30s who are believed to be the accomplices.
Experts say Southeast Asia's online scamming and human trafficking industry is fast growing.
VOA's Dane Grooveman has more.
Human rights activists join family members of Malaysian victims trapped in scam compounds who share their stories at a news conference in late November. Their identities are being concealed for security reasons. This mother says her 24-year-old son went to Thailand for a vacation and ended up trapped in neighboring Myanmar.
They hit my son until his buttocks were full of bruises. They handcuffed him to the ceiling. That's how he slept for 2 days.
The mother says the family paid a $16,000 ransom to the crime group holding her son, but the captors never set him free.
It's very heartbreaking. I have been crying for many days.
Jake Sims, a visiting expert at the U.S. Institute of Peace in Washington, says the criminal networks operate these scam compounds in countries with significant corruption and gaps in rule of law.
Over the last several years, hundreds of thousands of people have been brought to the region, many of them via various forms of coercion, deception, human trafficking, to be involved in a very lucrative global industry of organized cybercrime that is defrauding people from all over the world to the tune of tens of billions of dollars per year.
Experts say most of the victims in these scam centers come from across Asia. They're often lured by false promises of a legitimate job opportunity, only to be tricked, trafficked, and trapped.
They are forced to work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week in alleged scam compounds like these. They are ordered to befriend people on social media as well as dating apps and coax them to invest their money into cryptocurrency scams. And experts say these types of cybercrimes and the human trafficking connected to it show no signs of slowing down. Dave Grunenbaum, VOA News, Kuala Lumpur.
A 6-year-old girl who went missing in Johor on Saturday was found on Tuesday, more than 350 kilometers away in Selangor in Batang Kali, about 50 kilometers from Kuala Lumpur. Johor's police chief said she was found safe and sound at a budget hotel, adding that tip-offs helped officers to solve the case within 48 hours. 5 suspects, 3 men and 2 women, have been arrested. They're all Malaysian and none are related to the victim. The suspects are being held under kidnapping as well as sexual assault charges, as the child was handled without consent. Police are also looking for motive because no ransom was sought.
The first motive of abduction is caused by socioeconomic aspect, poverty and desperation, also lack of opportunities. So in unstable regions, individuals may resort to abduction due to financial hardships. Besides that, socioeconomic inequality and lack of education can also contribute to individuals choosing criminals.
Moving on to the second reason of abduction is caused by psychology. So the first one will be obsession and delusional, also revenge or personal vendettas. Study shows that some abductions are carried out by people with psychological disorders, and kidnapper might have a fixation on the victims. Besides that, abduction driven by retaliation against someone who has wronged the kidnapper in the past.
Last but not least, the cultural motive. We can take an example by forced marriage here. So, how forced marriage is conducted is when a man abducts the woman to force her into a marriage against her will. This will contribute to be rooted in patriarchy and also control the woman's sexuality and reproductive roles.
Next is solution for abduction cases. As we all know, every problem should have solution. Thus, these cases requires prevention, swift law enforcement, and community involvement. Public awareness, advanced investigation, and alerts like Amber Alerts are essential. Strong legal frameworks, strict penalties, and victim support through counseling and reintegration help address the issue. Technology such as tracking tools and AI also plays a key role in prevention and resolution.
Child abduction in Malaysia is a multifaceted issue that involves a complex mix of kidnapping, psychological issue, and social factors. Although laws and enforcement mechanisms are trying to reduce the problem, exploitation of vulnerable people, especially children, remains a significant challenge. Therefore, strengthening legal frameworks and increasing public awareness can ensure someone's safety and well-being.
So that's all from us. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Bye!